This video will be recorded and it'll be placed on the local learning lab. And so there's other resources that you can also take advantage of on the local learning lab. Also continue to check out our events page where a list of workshops are listed there, different workshops that are at no cost to you as the business owner. So with no further ado, I am gonna allow Turquoise Irby Bell to be able to take over.
Great. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And welcome to our workshop this afternoon, Understanding Business Certifications. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And yes, these slides will be shared with you. I even have an amazing opportunity at the end of the presentation for you to be able to take advantage of. So let's dive right in. Understanding Business Certification. So good afternoon. As Vanessa stated, I am Turquoise Irby Bell, and I'm a small business resource manager here at Local First Arizona. I'm so glad that you're joining me today for this important workshop, Understanding Business Certifications. This workshop has been in the works for a couple of years now, started as an idea. So definitely so excited to be able to present this information to you guys. So let's just start with a simple, powerful idea. Why do business certifications really matter? When I work with entrepreneurs, this is the moment that gets people excited because certifications aren't just about paperwork or check boxes. They're about unlocking real pathways to opportunity, growth, and equity for your business. So, today we'll explore how certifications can open doors, connect you with key buyers, and build credibility that helps your business thrive. So, let's dive in and discover how this important tool can empower your journey as a business owner. So today's agenda, I'm going to go over the importance of business certifications. I'm going to provide you an overview of the key certifications that we will be discussing today. I'm going to go over some eligibility criteria and the application process, as well as providing you with resources and support available. So again, the purpose today, I want to help you understand that business certifications will help your business have a competitive advantage. By the end of this session, you will be able to better position yourself to capture opportunities focused on applying for different business certifications you feel are necessary to elevate your business to the next level. So the importance of business certifications. I have some key points I want to make sure that I tap into today. So now that we've gone over the agenda, I want to start with the value that certifications bring to your brand and your position in the marketplace. So business validity and credibility. One of the first things certification does is validate your business. It confirms to buyers, partners, agencies that your business is legitimate, it's established, and ready to do business at a professional level. It says we're not just in business, we're certified, we're vetted, and we're recognized. That kind of credibility is huge, especially when building new relationships with large entities or government agencies. Also, think of this as your business profile, like a resume. So, a certification is a strong credential that gives you an edge. It shows that you've taken the steps to position your business competitively, and it helps you stand out in directories, bids, and supplier databases. This is especially powerful for small or diverse businesses trying to break into new markets or scale their operations. Government contract opportunities. So many city, state, and federal agencies have goals and mandates to work with certified businesses. Once certified, you're eligible for set aside contracts, procurement opportunities, and grant funded projects. It's not a guarantee, but it definitely gets you in the door. And often it's the key to getting a seat at the table. So, why business certifications matter? Well, again, it's not just a status, it's a strategy for growth. in your business. It's not just paperwork, but it's proof of the value in the marketplace. Certifications put you in the room for opportunities that were created with you in mind. You're not just getting certified, you're getting connected. So when you think of these connections, you want to think about I'm getting access to government and corporate contracts. One of the biggest benefits of getting certified is it allows your business to compete for contracts that are specifically reserved for certified vendors. Cities, counties, school districts, and major corporations all have supplier diversity goals. And your certification gives them a reason to do business with you. It gets you in the room for opportunities that otherwise would be out of reach, right? So, we're going to talk about that increasing the visibility and the credibility. So, certification adds credibility to your business. It shows that you've been vetted and that your business meets key requirements. It also increases your visibility. Your business will now show up in supplier databases and it gets promoted to buyers who are actively searching for certified vendors. For a small or locally owned business, that visibility is powerful. Networking and relationship building opportunities. So, certifying agencies don't just certify and walk away. They host matchmaking events throughout the year, networking receptions, and business expos. That gives you face time with decision makers. It puts you in the room, you and your business. You'll also be able to connect with other certified businesses, which can lead to partnerships, mentorships, and referrals. Hey, what are you doing that's working for you? Maybe I can tap into that as well. Business growth and development. Many certifications come with access to training, coaching, technical assistance, and even grant programs. Whether it's financial literacy, proposal writing, or leadership development, there are real tools to help you grow. This isn't just about qualifying for the certification. Think of it more about scaling your business. It strengthens the supplier diversity efforts. So when your business gets certified, you become part of a bigger movement, supplier diversity. It exists to level the playing field and correct historical inequities in procurement. So when you show up certified, you're not just building your business, but you're helping build a more inclusive economy. It's leveraging that national and local events, opportunities for your business. Certification often makes you eligible to participate in high profile opportunities like sports championships, conventions, and government led initiatives. It levels the playing field. You might hear this throughout the presentation. It promotes fair access to capital, contracts, customers, and systems where historically excluded businesses, they've had those to face those barriers. So this is an opportunity for businesses to break those barriers by getting these inclusive certifications. So when we talk about supplier diversity, supplier diversity is a business strategy, right? That focuses on working with companies that are owned by individuals from historically underrepresented and underdeserved communities. A diverse supplier is defined as a business that is at least 51% owned, operated, and controlled by someone from one of these groups. Okay. This includes small local businesses, it includes women owned businesses. It also includes minority owned businesses. So those are owned by Black, Hispanic, Native American, Asian American, or Pacific Islander entrepreneurs, as well as veteran and service disabled veteran businesses, LGBTQ plus owned businesses, and businesses owned by people with disabilities. So supplier diversity matters. It's not just about checking the box, but it's about knowing that you're helping to create this economic inclusion and reflecting the communities that your companies are serving. When organizations intentionally include diverse businesses in their supply chain, they help build stronger local economies, drive innovation, and promote equity. It's not only the right thing to do, but it's smart business. So these are the things that we're thinking about when we're going after certifications. This is the grander scale of why it's important and why it matters. So I know we've talked a little bit about the importance of it. So now I want to dive into some key certifications. I know you see these acronyms here: SBE, DBE, MBE, WBENC certifications. It's a lot of jargon, right? So let's dive into it. So, an overview of the key certifications in Arizona. So, SBE, also known as Small Business Enterprise, is dependently owned and operated with employees that are fewer than 100 full-time employees. So I'm sure some of the businesses here in the room have less than 100 full-time employees. So that would make you qualified for an SBE certification. It's race and gender neutral. It's designed for those small businesses meeting those specific size standards, so under 100 employees. And it's administered by local agencies like the City of Phoenix. We're going to go into the disadvantaged business enterprise. That's also known as the DBE. So the disadvantaged enterprise or DBE certification, it's federally recognized and designed for businesses owned socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. This includes many minority owned, women owned that meet the ownership and income criteria. So DBE certification is required for federally funded transportation projects like roads, airports, and transit systems. In Arizona, it's managed through the Arizona Unified Certification Program, which includes agencies like ADOT and Valley Metro. So if you're looking for your business to work on some federally infrastructure projects, and the DBE certification, I definitely would highly recommend looking into. The SBE certification, this focuses purposely on managing agencies with the city of Phoenix, and it's helping small business access those government procurement opportunities. So it's a great starting point if you're just getting into the certification space and you want to work with local government projects. So these are always those initial key certifications that I work with entrepreneurs to begin to apply for when seeking that additional certification to add to your business resume. Both certifications serve different purposes, but are essential depending on the type of opportunities you're aiming for, whether it's local contracts or federally funded projects. So remember, SBE and DBE. We're going to go over the Minority Business Enterprise, also known as the MBE. This certification is for businesses that are at least 51% owned, operated, and controlled by individuals who identify as part of the racial or ethnic minority groups. Remember, we talked about this particular certification includes the African American, Hispanic, Native American, Asian Pacific, and Asian Indian Americans. This certification is typically obtained through the National Minority Supplier Development Council, also known as NMSDC. So it's a widely recognized certification by major corporations that have the supplier diversity goals. Remember, we're going back to the goals, the supplier diversity. And for businesses who intentionally do business with minority owned companies, this is the key certification for that. Next, we have the Women's Business Enterprise Certification, commonly known as WBE or WBNC, or also known as the WBENC certification. Just like the MBE, this is also a certification for businesses that are at least 51% owned, operated, and controlled, but in this case by one or more women. So the WBENC certification is most widely recognized certifying body for women-owned businesses nationwide. So this certification is handled regionally And for us here in Arizona and the Western region, it's managed by the WBENC West. So this certification is especially valuable if you're looking to work with corporations or agencies committed to gender equity in their supply chains. So both of these certifications, MBE and WBE, are visibility, access, and validation. They help get your business in front of decision makers who are actively seeking diverse suppliers. So some key certifications to remember. Now let's dive into the eligibility criteria and the application process. So when applying for certification, having your documentation in order is key. Most certifying agencies require a clear picture of your business's ownership, structure, and financial history. This includes things like your articles of incorporation, which you can get from the Arizona Corporate Commission, your business formation documents, your operating agreements or your bylaws, a recent tax return, both personal and business. You'll also need to provide proof of ownership, which could be in the form of stock certificates, capital contributions, or other legal documents that verify that qualifying individuals own at least 51% of the business. So with the MBEs, in this case, this is typically like a birth certificate or a naturalization certification, something that establishes that origin that they're looking for, that citizenship or that legal residency, or that verifying that you are that 51% owned, operated, and controlled individual. Resumes are often required as well. So sometimes the certifications will require a copy of the resume, not just from the owner, but from the team, any other members of that, company. They want to make sure that all the pieces are in place. They will look for some current financial statements. Those are also commonly required just to show who's actively running the business and how it's operating. Oftentimes, they might even want to do a site visit. I know with COVID, a lot of the site visits for certification was virtual, but they may want to be in person. Even if you do business out of your home, what space is being dedicated for the business? These are things that the certification bodies want to see in order to ensure that your business is legitimately meeting these certification requirements because they are recognized nationally and locally. And so they have to make sure they have all their checks and balances. In addition to these documents, those core eligibility requirements is the 51% owned, operated, and controlled. Okay. So that is just a quick overview of some of these eligibility requirements. So I have included the application links. And like I shared earlier, I will be able to share this PowerPoint slide with you at the end of the presentation. So this is something that you'll be able to use as a reference. But if we're diving into the SBE and DBE certifications, there's no cost for the SBE and DBE certifications. But when we start working on some of those structured MBE or women owned, minority owned, or women owned certification, there is a fee associated with those certifications. So currently, the MBE certification is $395, and the WeBank certification is $350. So you can have multiple certifications. Your business doesn't just have to be confined to one certification because you may feel that you want to be able to explore and network with other, diverse businesses, other networking opportunities that are within the other, categories, the MBE or the WeBank. You can always start with SBE and DBE, and then you can branch off into some of the more certifications that specifically meet who you are in the business. All the certification applications are done online. So there's an online certification process. So you have to register. And all the documents that you have to provide are submitted online as well in a secured application process. I used to be on the certification side, so I was responsible for gathering certification documents for the MBE. I've also helped certify businesses in the SBE and DBE. And so I definitely have the understanding of what it takes to get those certifications achieved and what type of documents that you're going to need to gather. And typically, once you start the registration process, you have 6 months to submit all of your documents in order for, because it takes some time to gather those documents. So they typically give you a time frame to submit all those documents for review. And you work with the entities directly on getting those certifications. So I want to go over some resources and some support that is available. So when it comes to certification support, we provide personalized guidance to help you navigate the entire certification application process smoothly, ensuring you understand each step and submit all the required documents correctly. Additionally, we offer valuable networking opportunities by keeping you informed about various certification programs and events where you can connect with other business owners and potential partners. One of our key resources is the Local Business Certification Resource Guide, which covers certifications such as the Airport Concession for Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, the DBE, and the SBE to help you identify which programs best fit your business. So there is a guide so you can know specifically what certifications you would like to go after. Specifically, Local First Arizona plays a vital role in helping businesses become contract ready. I want to help you be able to have contract opportunities. But I always say the first step is getting that certification so you don't miss out on any opportunities that exist. We assist you in locating all Arizona statewide vendor registration portals. This is another document that we have in our local learning lab, which is essential for accessing these government contracts. Local Arizona also provides hands-on help with the vendor registration process and the certification processes, making it easier for your business to get certified. Moreover, they regularly share upcoming events and networking opportunities across the state, giving you direct access to potential contracts and valuable connections. So, overall, these resources and support systems are designed to empower your business and increase your chances of success in securing contracts. So, as you continue to grow your business, keep an eye on Local First Arizona's community calendar because we add new events all year long. There are always fresh opportunities coming up. Right now, before I dive into one of the most recent fresh opportunities, I want to just show you some of the events that we have already taken a part of this year. In January, we were invited to the SRP Better Together Business Resource Lunch. February, we were able to share information about the Aviation Business Summit. That was in February. In March, the City of Phoenix hosted a procurement event, and Local First was a partner in that event. We also had in May the ADOT, DBE, and Small Business Transportation Expo, where we tabled at this event and we partnered with ADOT for their Small Business Transportation Expo. In the summer, little slower months in the summer for these events, but upcoming in September is the 2025 West Valley Chamber Business Resource Fair. So these are some upcoming opportunities that you don't want to miss because there's excellent chances for you to connect directly with government and corporate buyers and expanding your business, expanding your business network. So be sure to take advantage of these events and these resources. They make a really big difference in helping your business thrive. And again, these events are on our community calendar. So we definitely share them with our local first community. Now, I want to dive into a fresh opportunity. Right now, the Arizona Major Events Host Committee is gearing up for a major national event, and they're inviting local diverse businesses like yours to join early. Okay, so they're building a Business Connect supplier diversity network. This is a fantastic way for certified businesses to get in front of national buyers, media partners, and capture tourism dollars. So this really shows how certification isn't just the paperwork, but it's a powerful tool that opens doors to high profile networking and business growth opportunities. So I want to help you get connected. So Arizona is going to be hosting the Women's Final Four next year. So businesses can opt in now to be considered for upcoming events and contracts related to the Final Four. They're seeking certified diverse locally owned businesses to support event related opportunity and supplier needs. So I have a task for you all. I have the Business Connect opt in form. It's like a job form, and it's for you to enter in all the information about your business. And then if they reach out to you and say, hey, we're interested in what you are supplying and we want to buy it, they might want to know, are you certified? Even if you're not certified, now we know the steps to take to be able to secure those opportunities. So I still want you to tap into it. Even if you don't have that certification yet, it is something that you can work towards. So I want to let you know of this amazing opportunity for you and for your business. So as we wrap up the resources and the upcoming events, let's take a quick moment to recap the core purpose of certification itself. Remember, certification ensures that your business meets specific eligibility standards required by programs like WBENC, MBE, SBE, and DBE. It's important to know these certifications are non transferable, so they only apply to the business itself and to the owner, and they apply specifically to the owners. Beyond compliance, certification also serves as a powerful marketing tool, helping you stand out in public markets and build credibility where buyers and partners will notice you and recognize your business in the marketplace. So, by leveraging the support, events, and certifications we've talked about today, you're setting your business up for success on multiple levels. Don't worry about being successful, but work towards being significant, and the success will naturally follow. So, as we've seen, certification is about more than just meeting requirements. It's about building that significance in your business and in your community by opening doors and creating opportunities. When you focus on making a meaningful impact, the success naturally follows. So, I wanted to just leave you with a little inspiration today, okay? And let's just keep the mindset as we move forward into some of our next business goals. So that concludes my presentation. And I definitely hope you guys know it was a lot of information, but I really hope that you are thinking about what I can do next in my business and, maybe some opportunities for you as you're thinking about growing and expanding. So do you have any questions for me that I can answer? Let's start with a Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Turquoise. That was just phenomenal. Such great information. I actually have a question for you,
Okay.
and specifically about women's certifications. How much value have you seen on for businesses who have applied for the women's certification, how much value does that show when presenting to like municipalities or even state offices for procurement opportunities?
Yeah, great question. And so I've seen a lot of value in the women-owned business certifications. I've often am in the room of people who have just taken off with so many different opportunities, especially like when we were gearing up for the Super Bowl. Being part of the Minority Business Enterprise database, I was able to connect with other women owned businesses who had that certification, and they were actually getting these
Mm,
opportunities to be a vendor at
mm,
at these Super Bowl events. The Super Bowl events were going on all throughout, the year. I mean, these are not just events that happen once a month. It's literally like leading up into the big day. So there was
mm,
just so many opportunities that I was able to say like, wow, how did you get connected? How did you find this opportunity? Well, it was through being a women-owned business, through the
mm,
networking opportunities, because when these buyers are coming into our state, they're reaching out to these connected networks and saying, do you have a women owned business that is making desserts? Can you send me a list
mm,
of women owned businesses that are in the dessert baking field? And then that list gets sent. And then, based on that, that's how they kind of make the decision, or create these opportunities for businesses. So I've definitely seen a lot of procurement opportunities for women-owned businesses who have the certification. Not just women-owned, but MBE and SB and DBE as well. So thank you.
awesome. Thank you. And Alyssa had a question she added in the chat. Thanking you for this great information. Her business hasn't generated much revenue yet. Should she wait to apply for the certifications?
Hi, Lissa. Great question. So if your business hasn't generated a lot of revenue, it may not be a decision right now that you want to make, but it can be a business goal. It can be a target for you to put in your business plan. Once I reach certain amount of a profit, I definitely want to go after some of these opportunities. So it may not be, because, some of those certifications can be pricely. They can be 395, 350. So if you don't feel like you're necessarily making enough right now, I would say continue to do the groundwork in your business, build up those financials so that way you are showing a profit. Because I used to do the certifications, and yes, I have certified businesses who have made $0, right? But they might have an opportunity to potentially, win a contract if they do have the certification. So, it just really depends on where you are in the business. Like the SB and DBE, those certifications don't cost anything. So if you're looking to kind of grow, build your network, maybe do a lot of, business to business, get in the room with other certified, potential buyers in other markets, I would say, yes, go for it. But when you start thinking about some of the other certifications that, have that cost to it, I would say those would be the ones that you kind of want to wait a little bit for, in order for you to build enough profit. So that way it's more valuable to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Just a tag on question. So there isn't a like an amount like for the SBE, like the company should be making X amount before applying. Do they have criteria like that for the SBE?
No, there is not.
Okay.
There is
Okay.
not an amount that you have to make in order to be certified.
Okay. Thank you. I
Yes,
appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Great question.
Excellent. And we have another question. Lisa, would you like to ask your question? Lisa James.
Hey, Lisa. I see your question in the chat. How often do
Okay.
you have to resubmit the certifications, right? So the certification, that initial certification, a lot of the recertification is once a year. So you have to recertify each year just to make sure that there hasn't been any changes in the ownership of your business, the structure of your business, making sure you haven't hired over 100 employees, and that you're not making over $1 million, I believe it is. So as long as you're still within those thresholds, all you do is just recertify saying, yes, my information is still the same, nothing has changed. I still can qualify. So the recertification is once a year. Same with MBE and WBNC. Those recertifications are once a year as well. And then the fees are a lot lower that are associated with those other two. It's typically a lower cost for the recertification. But yes, once a year you have to recertify to maintain it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Turquoise. And she had another question. Lisa had another question, and this is her third summer attempting to certify. Is there a workshop where we can walk through the actual website and discuss terminology?
So, Lisa, what type of certification have you been trying to work on for the last 3 summers? I'm interested to know. But like I shared with some of the SB, okay. Well, like I've definitely shared, that could be a one-on-one that we can have together. I offer one-on-ones, 30-hour sessions. And you can ask me any questions that you have about what's blocking you or what questions you have about the documents. Because a lot of times, what I've done in the past, businesses have sent me screenshots of, hey, what do I send in place of this? Or what do I send in place of that? So I can definitely give you the alternatives, and help you through that application. So yeah, sure. Please feel free to book, some time with me or send me an email, and I'll be happy to help you.
Excellent, Turquoise. And there is another question by Jennifer. She's wondering if certification helps government food programs such as hot foods programs when homeless and elderly can purchase hot meals using their EBT card. She's holding a hot dog concessions food vendor and would love to service that demographic.
Hey, Jennifer, great question. All right. So, yes, certifications would help your business. Okay. Now we're getting into the specifics on the opportunities. Okay, because the certification is one thing, but then you have to go after the bids. You have to go after the solicitations. So you have to find an actual bid, which is an opportunity for a supplier. So there's a buyer and a supplier. So the city of Phoenix would be the buyer, you're the supplier. So you would have to register as a vendor on the vendor registration portal, and you would have to find an opportunity for a hot foods program for the homeless. So the city of Phoenix has different umbrellas. So just like those networking opportunities I talked about where we partnered with the city of Phoenix, well, the city of Phoenix homeless was there. They have a table. So, and they pretty much will list out all their procurement opportunities for your business. So if there is an opportunity, you would have to tap in to that solicitation and register as a vendor for your business so you know what opportunities are existing for you. But yes, I mean, that definitely would be an opportunity I could see the city of Phoenix looking for.
Excellent. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Jennifer. And thank you, Turquoise. Is there any other question that the attendees have that we can get answered for you?
Let me throw in the chat right now the link for the Business Connect opt-in form.
Excellent.
Let me do that real quick. I don't know if it's still sharing my screen.
Yes, you are.
Okay, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna send this to you guys. So this is for that opportunity that we were discussing. This is the what the form looks like. Okay, so they want your business name. If you have a DBA, they want to know what category you're in for your business. Where do you fall? They want to know, is there a secondary business category? What's your website? Business owner's name. They want to know your title, business information, phone number, contact email, your address. They want to know your business tax ID. If you have a Duns and Bradstreet, they want to know what that number is. They want to know your ethnicity, the company ownership, right? We talked about these certifications. Do you fall into any of these? Has there been a recent change in the ownership? Certification is on here. They want to know what's your certification. If you don't have it, you know, leave it blank. It's not a requirement. They reach out to you and they say, we have this opportunity, but you need to get certified. Then now you know what the steps are to take to get that certification. When did you start your business? You know, are you a direct supplier of the goods and services? What's your financial status? Are you in a good financial standing? Do you have any social media? These are the things that you want to make sure you have a presence for these opportunities when they come up. Okay, so this is going to be the task that I challenge each one of you to do today is to sign up for this opportunity because you never know when your business name can be brought up in rooms that you're not even in. But how do we find those opportunities? By networking, by getting connected to Local First Arizona, visiting our community calendar. These are the opportunities that exist.
Wow, this is great. Such valuable insight information for businesses, Turquoise. Thank you. And we do have two more questions for you. Natalia asked, how long are they collecting these profiles?
That I don't know. I just received an email, I want to say last week. So I added it to the PowerPoint so I could share it with you guys. I don't know when they're going to stop, but I'm sure once it's no longer available, this jot form is going to expire.
Mm.
Most of the forms, once their opportunities are done, can't click on it, you can't access it anymore. So now is the best time, I would say prime time, because right now people, our suppliers are getting invited to these opportunities. They're out there. They exist. Arizona is growing. We're just getting bigger and bigger, greater and greater, and more opportunities are existing for our small, local, and diverse businesses.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And Local First Arizona is always advocating for small businesses in our state to obtain these bids. And we're advocating and speaking in behalf of businesses all the time. So Alyssa also has another question. If her business doesn't fall within the categories, should she not complete the form since it's a required field? My business industry is education.
Your business industry is education. What type of education? What are you teaching, Alyssa?
So I work with youth-focused organizations and design programs for youth in terms of entrepreneurship, leadership, growth mindset. I also design, workshops for adults as well.
So that's okay. If this particular opportunity doesn't fall into your industry, that's okay. It doesn't mean that those opportunities for your business won't exist. So this particular opportunity may not be a fit for the Business
Okay.
Connect, for the supplier database, because they're looking for those specific things that are coming to Arizona. Those are what they're going to be looking for. So if it doesn't quite fit the mold today at this particular opportunity, doesn't mean that another opportunity can't exist for your business. So I would definitely still encourage you to do the SBEDB certification, apply for the into the vendor registration portal so you have access to see what solicitations are around education, adult education, and specifically what your focus is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Thank you so much on those questions and responses, Turquoise. So we are at 15 minutes till 1. Does anybody else have any other questions or comments that they would like to share? Excellent. So as we mentioned, this workshop has been recorded, so it'll be on our local learning lab. Our email also has been added to the chat in case that you have any other questions or do want to do a one-on-one with Turquoise. She's phenomenal and can provide you with valuable information. But please also visit our local learning lab to check out the resources that Turquoise has created, specifically when it comes to these certifications. There is a PDF you can download and can view it under the business formation category on the local learning lab. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.